Hello everyone, today's topic of our lecture is very important, is a topography of abdominal wall and operations on the hernias of abdominal wall. Let's start. First of all, what is the borders of abdominal wall? Superior border is a xiphoid process of the sternum and costal margins. Inferior border, it is iliacteres, inguinal folds, and pubic symphysis. Lateral, it is a so-named Lesgaft line that connects ends of the 11 ribs and iliacteres. Lesgaft line, it is the same as mid-axillary line, but Lesgaft line begins from the 11th ribs. So just Lesgaft line is like just a part of the mid-axillary line, lower than 11th rib. Regions of abdominal wall. There are epigastrium, divides into the gastrium itself and right and left subcostal area. Mesogastrium, that divides into the right and left flanks and umbilical region. And hypogastrium, divides into the right and left inguinal regions or iliac fossa and suprapubic region. Well, here it is. If we take a look at the picture, we can see it. Here it is epigastrium itself, left subcostal area, right subcostal area. Mesogastrium with the umbilical region, left flank, right flank. And hypogastrium with a suprapubic region, left inguinal region and right inguinal region. Layers of abdominal wall. First layer is the skin. As in all regions, skin is thin and elastic. Next layer is subcutaneous fatty tissue. Its thickness depends on human meals. After this, we have a superficial fascia that consists of two layers, layers of cellular tissue with blood vessels and nerves between it. Superficial leaf passes on the thigh, and deep leaf or Thompson leaf attached to the inguinal ligament. So, I want to mention that into the superficial fascia, the splitting of superficial fascia, we have blood vessels and superficial arteries, so superficial epigastric artery, plaques right here. So between the leaflets, the superficial fascia. So it is called lacuate superficial. After that, lacuate proper or deep fascia tightly attached to the lower muscles and inguinal ligament. Muscles. There is a musculus rectus abdominis in front and three layers of muscles aside. If we are marking it from the external to the internal layer, it will be musculus obliquus externus, musculus obliquus internus, and musculus transversus abdominis. Three layers of muscles aside. To do that, like a transversal abdominal fascia is just part of the fascia and abdominalis. After this fascia, we have a thin volume of preperitoneal cellular tissue and parietal peritoneum. Blood supply of the abdominal wall The superficial and deep blood vessels supply the abdominal wall. I mark on the arteries. Venous outflow, as you know, venous outflow is the same, by the same weight. So, superficial blood vessels are located subcutaneous fat, as I mentioned before, between the leaflets of the superficial fascia. It is a superficial epigastric artery. Superficial epigastric artery is a branch of the femoral artery that arises just below the inguinal ligament, and branches of intercostal arteries. Branches of the intercostal artery. The last intercostal artery, called subcostal artery. You can see from this picture, intercostal 10th, 11th, and after that subcostal, and you can see here superficial epigastric artery. Here it is. Deep blood vessels. Deep blood vessels locates behind the musculus rectus abdominis. It locates behind this muscle and the fascia, so from the inside of the abdominal wall, and is arteria epigastrica superior and arteria epigastrica inferior. We already mentioned epigastrica superior in our previous lecture. It is a branch of the internal thoracic artery, and arteria epigastrica inferior. The epigastrica inferior is the branch of the femoral artery. Nervation or nerve supply of abdominal wall. So we have branches of the intercostal nerves. We have a iliohypogastric nerve and ilioinguinal nerve. The supply abdominal wall, periabdominal wall. You can see direction of these nerves on this scheme. So as you can see, the direction is transversal, parallel direction. That's why different incisions, longitudinal incisions, can damage these nerves, and if there is a prolonged incision and cutting many nerves, it could lead to the paralysis of the muscles of abdominal wall. Surgical approaches to the organs of abdominal cavity. There are many surgical approaches. First of all, we can divide all of them into the laparoscopic and open. All open we call laparotomy. And I also mentioned you that if we cut in the peritoneum, we speak about laparotomy only if we cut in the peritoneum. If we not cut in the peritoneum, it's just incision, it's not laparotomy. So, according to direction, we can divide all surgical approaches into the longitudinal, transversal, oblique, and combined. Well, for example, longitudinal, it is a midline laparotomy. Midline laparotomy could be total midline laparotomy when we cut in, making one big incision from the xiphoid process till the pubic symphysis, the total. It could be upper midline laparotomy if we cut in from the xiphoid process till the umbilicus, called upper midline laparotomy, and lower midline laparotomy if we cut in from the umbilicus till the pubic symphysis. Here it is. Also, it could be middle midline laparotomy located in the umbilical region. But in all of these cases, if we wanna cut in umbilical region, we should make incision going around the umbilicus from the left side. Why from the left side? Because from the umbilicus we have a ligamentum teres to the liver, and this ligament contains para-umbilical veins. To prevent cutting, damaging of this veins, damaging of this ligament, we should cut in the umbilical region always from the left side. Also, longitudinal incisions could be transrectal and pararectal. Transrectal means that we cut in just through the rectus abdominis muscle. Pararectal means that we cut near the margin of the rectus abdominis muscle. Transversal laparotomy could be superior and inferior transversal laparotomy. It's always very traumatic, but giving us a very expanded approach to the all organs, all necessary organs of abdominal cavity during some voluminous separation. Oblique incision could be such approaches, incisions by Kocher, for example, like shown on this picture. It's incision to the liver with a right subcostal incision, or it could be left subcostal incision to the spleen, for example. Gridiron incision is not shown on this picture, but I suppose you know this gridiron incision locates in the right iliac fossa to the appendix, to the McBurney's point. And combined incisions, for example, angular incision by Rio Branco. Angular incision by Rio Branco is combining superior midline laparotomy and oblique incision that go into the 11th rib. And looking like an angle, so angular incision by Rio Branco, it could be used for the operations on the liver. Abdominal wall has a so-named weak places. What does it mean, weak places? It means that these places has a lack of muscles or interspace between muscles, and hernias, abdominal hernias, can go through these places, not any places, only these places. No, what are these places? Inguinal canal, femoral canal, umbilical ring, white line, abdomen, and so-named linea semilunaris. White line of abdomen and just midline of abdomen locates between the bellies of musculus rectus abdominis and formed by aponeurosis of musculus obliquus externus, internus, and transversus abdominis. Only aponeurosis, there are no muscles here. And linea semilunaris, it is the place of passage, the muscular part of transversus abdominis to the tendinous part. Inguinal canal, about inguinal canal. Here on this picture you can see a cross section through the inguinal canal. So I remind for you that there are three layers of muscles: externus obliquus, obliquus externus, obliquus internus, transversus abdominis. And from the inside, all of this covered with a transversal fascia. So there is an interspace between these muscles and the inguinal ligament. Inside of this interspace, male has a spermatic cord and female has a round ligament of uterus. And once again, what are the walls of this canal? Inferior, here it is, inguinal ligament. Anterior wall, it is aponeurosis of musculus obliquus externus abdominis. Here it is. Posterior, it is a transversal abdominal fascia. Here it is. and superior is the margins of the musculus obliquus internus and transversus abdominis. Imagine it is interspace without muscles. That's why in case of hernial formation, hernia can go in, that's stretching this transversal fascia and go into this canal from the abdominal cavity. If we speak about openings of this canal, there are two openings. It is entrance to the canal that's called annulus inguinalis profundus or deep inguinal ring. It is a infundibular recess in the transversal abdominal fascia through which spermatic cord passes into the canal. Here it is basically. Here it is, you can see it. An exit from the canal, annulus inguinalis superficialis, superficial inguinal ring, is formed by the crus of aponeurosis of musculus obliquus externus abdominis, superior medial crus attached to the pubic symphysis, and inferior or laterally it is attached to the pubic tubercle. Posterior ligamentum reflexum dislocates between them. So here it is. So aponeurosis of externus abdominis muscle touching to the 2 points, to the pubic symphysis, to the pubic tubercles. And between them there is an interspace. Through this interspace, spermatic cord passing, going outside the canal and descending into the scrotum. So here it is. Superficial inguinal ring. Okay, till the next time.